If the Pokemon market crashed tomorrow, what would you do? A lot of people think that they would buy at the bottom. All of these sets going on sale, and they just want to get a part of the action. All of these sets have been so overpriced that haven't been accessible to them. They want to buy now. And if you're just ripping your opening packs, then yeah, that is the way it's going to work. You're going to get effectively sets on discount compared to the current market highs. But what if you're an investor? If you're looking to make money in Pokemon and the market crashed, is that an opportunity for you? And are you going to take it? Because all of these market crashes, stock markets, even crypto, for as long as that's viable, times of different coins, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, whatever, when the market crashes, it's a fire sale and everything is on sale. So this is the big opportunity. Now, it came to mind recently because I was watching a Nostalgianomics podcast with the Pokeplumber, and Nostalgianomics said it doesn't matter if the market crashes because people will buy out the bottom. So it's never going to go to zero. And to an extent that's true. Well, let's separate those. One, I agree, the Pokemon market isn't going to zero. Pokemon as a brand is just too strong. We're coming up to the 30th anniversary. They've got a multi-pronged approach. And we've got the anime, we've got the games, we've got the sort of paper media or the print media that they produce as well. And then we've got the card game. And not only that, but the card game has a strong core base of players, which personally I think is really important. I think it's why there's actually viability in investing in Magic the Gathering, because they have barely any media, no media, but they have a really strong core game, which is what keeps the brand alive, and it's why we see so many other trading card games fail. They can just not break into the gaming zeitgeist, as it were, and be one of those it games. Even Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited to an extent is breaking in there, bit of a fresh game, but that's beside the point. It's got a core strength, so I don't think it's going to zero. But is it not going to go to zero because Whale's going to buy out the bottom? And there are people who are sitting and they're waiting and they want to buy at the bottom. I want to buy at the bottom, not because I've got a load of cash to sit around, but because English products are going to be more available. And for running a Pokemon business, which mainly sells Japanese and Korean at the moment, the market crash I'm looking forward to it. It will mean strong English product, easy to get from distributors, Japanese prices lower, everything's going to go back to normal. Korean probably won't be as viable, so depending how much stock I've got sitting at that time, won't be great. But either way, Japanese, English, way more accessible, and once you're established with English, you're good to go. But the market crash is where that happens. But a lot of people think they're going to take advantage of it, but they don't see the reality. This isn't that you just found a good price and then you can sell back into the market and make a load of money. You're not finding surging sparks to MSRP or below MSRP and then selling it for current market price. That's not how a market crash works. Market crash is a prolonged period of time where you can sit and you can hold the money, you can let it be tied up and be cool with that, because you know that in the future you're going to be able to make money. So there will be people who buy at the bottom, and initially there will be people who think, wow, it's so cheap, I'm going to buy and hold it. But then a year passes, 2 years pass, 3, 4, 5, who knows? And then not only does the Pokemon market crash, but the stock market crashes. Money is tight for everybody. Or you're holding Pokemon and your car breaks down. You get a leak, you get a hospital bill, something happens, you get laid off, you get fired. What happens in that situation? And how would you look at the Pokemon cards then? Because that is a real test. It's a longevity game. Who can hold the product for the longest? And who can tell the right time to sell? The right time to recycle that money and put it into new opportunities. And new opportunities being, if you have something and it doubles in price, but you're waiting for another 20% gain, are you better off just putting it back into a later set? So, for example, now you might be buying Sword and Shield because you think there's a possibility for it to double in price. But 3 or 4 years down the line, or 2 years down the line, would you be better off selling that and going back in Scarlet and Violet? Yes, you would be, because there's more realised gains as a percentage that can be accrued. And that's where the smart money goes. So it's constantly recycling your stock, going through it. Maybe not selling all your position. Maybe you don't want to do that. But at least recycling through it. When the market crashes, holding it. Because that is what is going to make the difference. I can tell you now that there will be some people who come in and buy at the bottom. But they will not be able to hold it. They will not be able to hold it until the Pokemon market goes into a bull market again. Because that is what you're looking for, and that is what you are trying to sell into. So now, we're in the bull market, maybe not peak bubble, but still, you can sell into it. Take those gains, put it into the next thing. Take gains, put it into the next thing. And constantly going through that. Surging Sparks prices, by a case, it's not bad. Where that's at probably will end up. A lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people, they say they want the market crash to happen. They say they're going to put loads of money in it, and they say they're going to take advantage of it. But are they really? If you're an investor, you need to be assigning capital that you are comfortable with. You need to have that capital, which means you need an income from somewhere else. And if you run a Pokemon business, which is a way to manage both of those, because you can hold some stock back that you can get it at MSRP, you get bigger realized gains. But also, it is a great opportunity for Pokemon businesses. The bull market is actually harder to survive than the bear market. The reason being, there will always be a core base of people who are interested in Pokemon that you can sell English Pokemon to, and you can sell other Pokemon collectibles to, and you'll be able to make money with that, provided that you get in front of the camera and you sort of take up the market space. Because there's a lot of companies, but there are not a lot of companies who market and sell Pokemon. So that is the edge. That is where you can get in. But in the bull market, if you're just doing English, you're done. Because there is not enough supply for that. It doesn't matter what your margins are. If you only get a case or two of booster boxes from every release set, what are you going to make on those 12 boxes? Nothing. You're not going to be able to make enough to survive. So you need to diversify that, languages, games, whatever. That is how it needs to go. That is how you need to set yourself up when you're looking at these market trends. And you're realizing that I'm not in this thing for 3, 4, 5 years. I'm looking at 10-year periods. I'm going to go through a bull and I'm going to go through a bear market. And how am I going to change, and what am I going to do in the different ones? In the bull market, you diversify. You pad your stock with Japanese, because Japanese is easy to get. Japanese is always there. Go on Instagram, look at these supplies. Crazy amounts of supply. But you've got to come into it with the right mindset. You can start a Pokemon business in the hype and you can make money. You can start a Pokemon business in the bear market and you can make money. You can invest in both of these and you can make money. But it might not be instantly. In fact, it will never be instantly. You've just got to hold it. And so be prepared. The market's going to crash. What are you going to do? How long are you prepared to hold some stock? How long are you prepared to hold a couple of cases? Because you could double your money. But if you're willing to wait it out, if you're willing to wait out the bear market, take your earnings. Remember, the only time you lose is when you sell. But the only time you make money is when you sell. The only time what you buy actually has value is when someone gives you money for what you're going to get. You can say my collection is worth this much money. The booster books I'm holding are worth this much money. But if you're never going to sell them into the market, they are worth nothing. They are worth the space, and this is a negative value that is taking you to store them. And if there's a lot, it's going to take a lot of money to store them. And you've got to factor that in. If you just got stock sitting there and you can't afford it, you will sell it, and there'll be people who are waiting when you need to sell, because you will have to sell at a discount because you're selling it quickly, because you're forced to sell. So be smart. A market crash is a great opportunity. Doesn't look like it's coming yet. Probably going to be sustained a bit longer. We've got a 30th anniversary coming up. There's going to be hype around it. We've got the Switch 2 coming up. We've got the new Pokemon game coming out. New Pokemon generation coming out. There's going to be hype around this. Well, depending on the success of the Switch 2, depending on the success of the Pokemon games. To be honest, I'm not sort of biggest fan of Journey Together, but I think, was it Destined Rivals? Like Rival Destiny? I think it's Destined Rivals. That set, it's going to be big. The black and white set, it's going to be big. These are popular sets. The artwork for Heatwave Arena looks great, but artwork for Team Rocket, I assume, is going to be great as well. So there's going to be lots of hype. Still in a bull market. Probably the best bet now in terms of making money. Look at some Sword and Shield stuff. They're quite low. Worth buying a case. That's all I'm going to say. People will buy it. It will probably 50%, 100% in the next few years. But again, it's a long-term game. And 100% in 2 or 3 years, those are some solid deals. Think about it, Brilliant Stars in December was 150. Now it's close to 250. It's a lot of money to be being made, especially if you are investing thousands into it. You make more money. It's a smart way to do things, but it's a long game, and that's cool. That's not a problem. And the S&P only goes up 10% a year. That's all you've got to beat. So yeah, good luck. If you want any Japanese or Korean in this market, not for investing purposes, just for prepping, then link is in the description. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your plans are. If the Pokemon market would crash tomorrow, would you buy? And how long would you hold for? I'll see you in the next one.